Hi, welcome to a short lecture I normally record for CSC 230 class for the distance section here at the start of the semester. I'm David Sturgill, the instructor for the distance section. In addition to our distance section, which has a little more than 20 students, we've got 3 on-campus sections totaling to about 250 more students. I teach one of those on-campus sections, and I teach your distance section. Generally, all 4 of those sections will be doing a lot of the same things this semester. You'll be learning the material on about the same schedule. You'll be doing the same projects and exercises. You'll be taking exams covering the same material at about the same time. In the first lecture for the on-campus section, I'll talk about how all that's going to work for my on-campus section. And most things are going to be the same for the distance section, but a few things end up being a little bit different. And that's what I wanted to talk about in this lecture. I'm recording this in fall of 2023, and I try to record a fresh version of this every semester to capture things that are current to that semester. Like I said, I'm teaching one of the distance sections and one of the on-campus sections. On behalf of all of my sections, I've got 4 office hours during the week, 2 in the afternoon on Monday and Wednesday, and 2 in the morning on Tuesday, Thursday. And these are open to students from any of the sections, including the distance section. But I also have a special office hour I hold on Monday evening that's just for the distance section. I know as a student taking the class online, you may not be able to make it during my office hours 8 to 5. So having a time for distance students in the evening is usually pretty helpful. We've got 3 on-campus sections, and I've listed the instructors and the TAs for those other sections, Dr. Balick, Dr. Titus, and we've got 5 TAs helping us out right now. And the reason I mention those is all of the teaching staff is available for office hours during the week. So even if my times don't work out too well with you, if you're having trouble with an exercise or a project, any of the teaching staff, any of the people I have listed here, should be ready to help you out because we're doing a lot of the same projects and exercises and other things during the class. We're still working with the TAs to pick out office hours that fit their schedule and kind of fill in as many times as we can have. But as we figure those out, we'll be listing them on this web page I've listed down here at the bottom. It's also linked from up near the top of our Moodle page. So if you ever need some help and you want to see when the soonest office hour is, visiting that page is probably the easiest way to figure that out. Again, because we're doing a lot of the same stuff during the semester, we try to make it so anyone on the teaching staff can help anyone from any of our sections of the class. As far as lectures go, I'm starting recording those for the on-campus section this week. And my plan is that you'll be watching the ones I'm recording this semester. Every few semesters, we kind of shuffle the material around for this class, trying to make sure we cover the most important stuff earlier. And we did that some over the summer, so it'll be good for you to be watching those latest recordings. My on-campus section meets at 8:30 on Tuesday and Thursday, and those lectures are going to be recorded automatically and posted at our Panopto site. And I've put a link for that up near the top of our recorded lectures. I've also got a link for some older lectures that were recorded by the Engineering Online program back in spring of 2018. You're only required to watch the ones that are being, or you're only expected to watch the ones that are being recorded this semester. But if you do want to see a different presentation of the material, you can go back and watch some of these older lectures. If you do, just be aware that the scheduling of topics is a little bit different. We covered things in a different order. And especially be aware that one day during the semester, I think it was lecture 19, we had to leave the classroom. There was a security concern in the building. So about the last 20 minutes of lecture, everybody gets up and walks out of the classroom. We missed the last part of that lecture, but we managed to fit it in before before the end of the semester, but just don't be surprised if you see that happening. Everything turned out to be okay, but it was an unexpected interruption. I mentioned that you'll be covering, or you're expected to cover, the same material and have exams at about the same time for the on-campus sections. We just take a regular class meeting and hold a exam. So we won't have a lecture recorded then, because the on-campus students will be taking an exam. For the distance students, we've set aside a window of time, 3 days for each of the exam, when you can schedule time with a proctor to take your own exam. And I've listed those windows here. They're also in the syllabus and on Moodle. These are about the same points in the semester when my on-campus section will be taking their exam. Your exams will be, scheduled at about the same points during the semester. They'll be covering the same material. Exam 1 covers lectures 1 through 9. Sorry, I had to think for a moment. The next lecture, I believe, is covering lectures 10 through 18. And then the last exam is comprehensive. And these are the times when your window for that exam, when you can schedule that exam with your proctor. Your exams will be similar length. The first, as the on-campus section, the first 2 are an hour and 15 minutes. And the last one, the final exam, is a comprehensive exam that you'll have 2.5 hours to take. So you'll be taking exams of similar length, covering the same kind of material, but your exams will be different. All of the sections will be each of them will be having their own exam. You'll also notice for my on-campus section, I'll talk about how we have a quiz at the end of every lecture. For the distance section, we can't do that. On campus, we do a paper quiz, and you'll probably see me hand that out at the very end of every lecture. For the for the distance section, we do an online quiz through Moodle. So for every lecture, you'll see I post a little quiz. It's down with the rest of the material for that lecture, usually the last thing under each lecture. My expectation is you'll watch the video for the lecture, you'll look at the materials as much as you want, and then you'll take the quiz, closed book, closed notes, kind of like the students in class do for the quiz. Your quiz, on campus, they take the quiz right after the lecture. For the distance students, you have a window of time to take it that is generally up to the following Monday. So your window for taking the quiz is the same as your window for the exercise. Those are both due at the end of the day on Monday after the lecture that quiz goes with. And that's true every week except the first week. The first week, we give you an extra couple of days to take the quiz and the exercise. So your first batch of quizzes and exercises are due the Wednesday of the second week of class. So that'll be August 30th, I believe. But then after that, they'll generally be due on Monday, just like the exercises. So you're taking your own quizzes. I'm trying to do the same thing as I do with the on-campus section. It's just yours are online quizzes rather than paper quizzes. That's all the stuff I've got that should be different for the distance section. I've listed my email address there if you need to contact me, or if you want to see me during office hours, especially that Monday evening office hour would be a good time to catch me. Make sure you go ahead and register for Piazza. You should get an email asking you to opt in for Piazza. After the first week of class, we'll generally depend on that to make announcements for the class or to have class discussion. See me in, again, office hours or email if you need to. Otherwise, I'll see you in lecture. Have a good week.